The company wasn't big, just a family outfit Dad built after returning from the service. Sheet metal, small jobs, enough to keep food on the table and pride in the name. When he passed, my brother and I took over. He handled clients. I handled the books. He was the handshake. I was the signature. We never questioned it. He talked fast, moved fast, and always had an answer. I wasn't slow, just careful. I trusted him because he was my brother, because we shared a last name, a front yard growing up, and the memory of a man who taught us that your word meant something. It started with a letter, a flagged transaction, then a call from the bank asking me to confirm a line of credit I didn't remember signing. I thought it was a mistake until I saw the paperwork, my name, my signature, company stamp, only I hadn't signed it. I asked him about it. He shrugged, said it was nothing, said it was temporary, said he'd make it right. Come on, he said. You know how slow this system is. You'd never have agreed in time. I just did what needed to be done. He said it like it was a favor, like I should be grateful he kept the wheels turning. I didn't yell, didn't slam a door, didn't throw a punch. I just stood there and realized, for the first time in my life, I wasn't his partner. I was his cover. He'd made the decisions, spent the money, bent the rules. And if anything went wrong, I'd be the one holding the liability because the paperwork said so, because the law said so, because he made it so. That night I sat alone in the office, looked at the portrait of Dad still hanging on the wall, and I said quietly, just once, I think I'm done here. I didn't sleep much that night. I wasn't angry, not in the way people expect. There was no shouting in the driveway, no phone thrown against the wall, just a stillness I hadn't felt before. Like something inside me had stepped back and gone quiet. I kept replaying his voice in my head. I just did what needed to be done. As if doing things behind my back was a service. As if putting me on the legal hook was leadership. He'd always been the bold one. The one who pushed deals through, made last-minute calls, smoothed things over. And me? I was the one who checked the fine print, ran the math twice, signed only after I understood what I was signing. That's how we balanced each other. At least I thought we did. I didn't tell anyone, not my wife, not Mom, not our old foreman who'd been with us since Dad's time. Not because I wanted to protect him, but because I couldn't believe it myself yet. The worst part wasn't the signature, wasn't even the risk. It was that he looked me in the eye and acted like it was normal. Like using me wasn't betrayal, just business. I spent the next few days going through the books, quietly, tracing every dotted line that led back to me. Every authorization, every line of credit, every temporary move he'd made on my behalf. The picture got clearer and heavier. And so did the decision. I could have fought him, called lawyers, gone public, destroyed what was left of his name. But I didn't want revenge. I wanted distance, not out of fear, out of self-respect. Because some betrayals don't need to be punished. They just need to be left behind. I drafted the paperwork myself, didn't use a lawyer, didn't try to negotiate, just sat at my kitchen table one morning, wrote out the terms, and walked it down to a notary. Transferred all my shares. Signed off on everything I still had legal control over, left it clean, no loopholes, no hidden strings. The business was his now, all of it. The only thing I asked was to be removed from every account, every license, every dotted line. I didn't want a safety net. I wanted a clean cut. That same afternoon, I emailed him. No threats, no explanation, just a short message. From today on, you have full control. Do what you think is best. I won't be involved. I won't be coming back. He didn't reply, didn't call, didn't stop me. Maybe he thought I was bluffing. Maybe he figured I'd cool off. But I wasn't angry anymore. I was done. I spent the next few months working in my garage, fixing lawnmowers, helping neighbors patch up fencing, drew up some designs for small tools, custom metalwork, nothing fancy, it didn't pay much. But the work was honest. No one looking over my shoulder, no fine print to worry about. For the first time in years, I could breathe. Friends asked what happened. I said, I just stepped back. They thought I was being modest, but I wasn't hiding anything. I just didn't think the full story needed to be told. Not because I was afraid, but because I'd already left it behind. Sometimes I'd pass the old shop on my way into town. Lights on, trucks out front, business still running. I didn't feel jealous. I didn't feel bitter. I felt free. Because I knew what was holding that place together was no longer me. And whatever came next, good or bad, he'd face it on his own. Exactly how he wanted it. It was almost 2 years to the day. I was closing up the shop, just a small workspace behind the house where I did metal repair and design jobs. The air smelled like rain, sky turning that dull orange-gray before a storm. That's when I heard the knock. Slow, hesitant. Not the kind you get from a customer, not from someone looking for help, from someone who doesn't know if they should even be standing there. I opened the door, and there he was. He looked older, not in the hair or the face, but in the way he stood. Shoulders lower, eyes unsure. He held his hat in his hands like he wasn't sure what to do with them. For a second, neither of us spoke. Then he said it. I lost it. The business, the contracts, the money, it's all gone. I nodded, didn't flinch, didn't ask why. You were right, he added. I messed it up. I tried to do everything my way. I cut corners, took on debt, thought I could fix it later. He paused, swallowed hard. I used you, back then. I knew what I was doing, and I did it anyway. I stood there for a while, leaning against the door frame. The same man who once signed me away like a piece of paper was now standing in front of me, bare, small, human. And I didn't feel triumph, didn't feel satisfaction, just a kind of quiet clarity. I looked him in the eye. I already forgave you, I said, but I moved on. He looked down, nodded, didn't ask for anything else, and I didn't offer. As he turned to leave, he stopped once more. You doing all right? I answered without hesitation. Better than I've ever been. He never came back after that day. No follow-up call, no late-night messages, no we should talk. And I was okay with that. Life stayed simple. I took jobs when they came, turned down ones that didn't feel right. Spent mornings in the garage, evenings on the porch. Learned how to cook properly, got good at keeping plants alive. Taught myself how to weld cleaner, straighter lines just for the pride of it. People in town started sending their sons to me. Said, he's got a good head, just needs someone steady to show him how things work. I never turned them away. Didn't charge much, just asked them to listen and not rush. Because not everything good comes fast. Some things take years to build. Some lessons only come when you're quiet enough to hear them. Sometimes folks still ask what happened with the business. I usually just say, it wasn't mine to keep. They nod. Sometimes they press. I don't add more. Not because I'm hiding anything, but because peace doesn't explain itself. It just lives where noise used to be. I still pass the old building now and then. It's empty these days. Glass dusty, sign faded. But I don't feel anything sharp when I see it. No regret, no bitterness, just closure. What he did could have ruined me, but it didn't, because I didn't let it. I stepped away, built something quieter, smaller, but real, and mine. My brother used me as his legal shield. I didn't destroy him. I just stepped aside and let the truth do what it always does. And in the end, that was enough.